streaming. All right. And
do any...
What's up?
And we're live.
All right.
So we should probably talk so everyone can see if we're catching the sound.
Welcome to the Yanggang Roundtable. It's December 6th, 2020. I have here Ariel, Feiku, myself, and Kevin Lee. Kevin, welcome to the show. Could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Kevin Lee. I'm currently part of the Humanity First Movement Interim Board, and I'm also the co-lead of the Michigan chapter of Humanity Forward.
Awesome.
Yeah. Very nice to see you here today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Well, our Twitch stream seems to be
working?
Down today, so I guess we just continue without it.
Sorry for the logistical troubles. Just YouTube today. That's okay.
Okay, got it. All right, so I'm going live with the tweet. All right, so I tweeted that, and then you guys can retweet what I just tweeted.
Sure. Cool. Sorry for any pause. We're trying to promote the show, which isn't a thing that I think about too much. I usually think about running the show. So.
Have you put in any hashtags about cash relief?
Not too. I don't know. Ariel, did you put any cash relief hashtags in? Like pay the people?
Stimulus check now.
There you go. We got it.
Stimulus check now.
Yeah.
And that's a big one. That was one of the.
Can we get a little bit of light behind you, Kevin? I'm sorry to nitpick, but I can't see you too well. If you could maybe stand in front of a window or something, is that?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to trouble you. I just want to see your face because you're just kind of silhouetted.
All right. I will.
You should have done this before going live, right? No.
I'll turn on the light or something.
Okay, yeah, it just got a bit dark in there. Anyway, we went live because I tweeted that we were going to go live like 10 minutes before we went live because I thought we were going to go right away, and then we had to do a bunch of other stuff. And that's live streaming. That's what it is.
If we're not
I made Kevin leave with my pessimism.
Okay.
I don't think I made him leave with my pessimism. Something else happened.
Well, it says that we are live on Twitch now, so if anybody's watching, it just says unstable, unfortunately.
Yeah, we got to look into that. Okay. Wow, that looks great. That looks a lot better.
You look much better, Kevin. Thank you.
Okay.
I think that was worthwhile. So welcome to the Yanggang Roundtable. We're a basic income advocacy podcast. I don't want to get... I always mess this up. So Humanity Forward is Andrew Yang's charitable organization. Or is Humanity First? I always screw the two up. I'm sorry. Let's explain the situation.
The grassroots is the Humanity First.
What is the situation here?
HFM.
Okay, let's explain it because it confuses me. I'm sure it confuses a lot of other people. The names are also similar, and I've been over it many times, and still. But one more time. What is Humanity First? What is Humanity Forward? And how do the two correlate?
Well, the thing is, I think it was a matter of websites, right, already being taken and names already being taken by various organizations. So Andrew Yang settled on Humanity Forward, and that is the name of his foundation, and they're doing a lot of really good things, doing a lot of giving. Is that correct, Kevin? I think I'm getting that right.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if you try to find his website, I think it's actually called Move Humanity Forward. So if you're trying to find Andrew Yang's website, you type in movehumanityforward.com. Then you will find it. Now, the grassroots section that was separated from the from Andrew Yang's campaign group originally because of the political boundaries between grassroots and campaign itself, the funding and everything. Ended up with another group called which we call the grassroots movement, and we've come together and elected a interim board to represent us from people from all over the country. And this organization had to also choose a name for themselves. They wanted to follow Andrew into his space, but also have their own designation. So they chose the name Humanity Forward Movement after many rounds of voting. So there it is.
Yes.
Humanity First Movement.
What other names were floated? Any memorable ones? No.
I wanted a really okay. I suggested one that I really think we should have gone with.
What was that?
The one that I suggested was we should call ourselves the new MFers.
Yeah, I want to go over
the move forwarders.
The move forward.
But nobody wanted that one. I don't know why.
Real MFers.
So anyway,
Yep.
Yeah, so basically we have HF and we have HFM. So if you just go with HFM, you'll probably get those are the grassroots. And we have Kevin Lee representing the board with us today. It's really exciting to have you here because we want to hear what grassroots Yanggang is doing and how everybody's organizing and continuing to stay together, past this election debacle. I mean, it's great that we have managed to vote Trump out, I think, but now what's going to happen moving forward?
We just go back to the Obama years. I don't see that progress.
Yeah, that's the fear, and that's being realized like every day. It feels like, just the old neoliberal Obama Clinton style cabinet, the Bush Jr. style cabinet, all in place. Thanks, Biden.
Yeah.
Kevin, you were originally a leader in the Michigan Yang.
Actually, okay. I wasn't. Okay, let me explain here. I wasn't originally a leader in the Michigan Yanggang. However, when Humanity First movement started, there was nobody else from Michigan left. So I ended up being a leader in the Michigan Yanggang, I suppose.
I see. So what about Ariel had suggested one of our famous YouTubers, Boyce. Is it Boyce Littlefield? Am I getting his last name right? Boyce Littlefield is also from Michigan and is pretty hardy gang out there. You must have still a few.
Yeah. Boyce is currently focused on his website, thetrickleup.com, which I was kind of a part of. I was one of the first people who I was part of forming that. But he's not part of chapter formation per se, if that makes sense.
Okay, the political organizing right now. He's more focused on the media push. Yes. Which we need people of all kinds. Yeah. That's absolutely important.
Totally.
Yeah. Let me so Kevin, how did you become a part of it? If you don't mind me asking, is this a volunteer thing or is it an actual paid thing? If you're not comfortable.
The chapter? Is that what you're
being part of
you're asking about?
Humanity Forward? Is it paperwork involved and stuff, or is it just just you just jump in and they just put you wherever they want and stuff? And
so Humanity Forward specifically,
just the one that you're a part of, or you?
Okay. Humanity First movement is is a volunteer organization at the moment. That might change. I think there's a possibility of that changing because we haven't incorporated yet. And so once we incorporate, who knows? But at the moment, it's a volunteer organization.
Got it. And to be a part of it, like, do you have to, like, is there certain application process, or is it like they just see that you're eager and they put you wherever you need to be, just like send an email off or something?
I
So
more of the latter.
Letter? What ladder? Oh.
I said ladder. Sorry.
The latter, the later. Yeah, the last thing you said. Hey, look at this beautiful human pin. We just got this sent to us because Zephyr won a prize at one of the humanity hangs where we did the Halloween together.
Aww.
It was amazing. It was wonderful. We wanted to thank everybody for providing a prize to Zephyr for, I think he won second place. There was a little girl or somebody else who had won. No, it wasn't a little girl, but it was a lady. Another lady had won the first prize, and it was an amazing event. And I know Humanity First Movement for help for all the people who are doing all different kinds of organizing, even social events, as well as the political action. Because I know that political action, tends to be text banking, phone banking, supporting the different down ballot candidates, joining the car movement, right? The car march for the income movement.
Mm-hmm.
What else is happening right now at Humanity First Movement?
Okay. Right now, I think we are part of the Humanity Forward campaign for. They're trying to lobby for cash relief. The bill that the Democrats and Republicans are trying to push forward.
The stimulus bill?
Yeah, the stimulus bill. Yeah. They're trying to get cash relief included in the stimulus bill. And also, I believe by hiring lobbyists. And also, we are trying to build up state chapters at the moment.
So how many different state chapters are you guys organizing? Are you aware?
We're hoping for like all 50 states. Now, I think there's around, I don't remember the exact number, but
would you say there's like a dozen or a couple dozen?
I would say
about 20. That's wonderful. So, and what would you say is close? Do you know of any that are? Is Florida going strong? How about Georgia, where we're, Andrew Yang is trying to promote us to get out there to help. Oh, I think we lost your sound.
We have lost audio for Kevin, I think. Yes. I cannot hear you, Kevin.
Oh, I wonder if Kevin is on his phone, because sometimes when I get a phone call in, the Discord server will suddenly take me off of the speakerphone or something, and I can hardly hear people. I can make a change.
Let's see.
Let me.
Okay, sounds like you're back, Kevin. Good.
Oh, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Manny Ford, Georgia chapter, and Florida is currently in the process of launching.
And how about or do we have anybody in the southern areas like Alabama and Mississippi and Louisiana, these states? I know we have our good friend Scott Santons down in New Orleans, and he is not specifically necessarily doing sort of yanggang, but he is. He's been on my mind lately because he and his wife had tested positive for COVID very recently, and so wanted to wish them well from the show.
Louisiana. I know Louisiana has a website. I'm not sure whether they've actually launched an official chapter yet.
So nothing in Mississippi and Alabama, right?
I don't
no particular
believe so.
movements there. I'm particularly concerned with those states right now because we have a fellow yanggang who is one of our regular speakers. Her name is Faye Doney, and she is fully nomadic and trying to be a wonderful activist while traveling across the country so that she can be in all the places where the action is. And right now the action is supposed to be in Georgia, so she's on her way out there, but she broke down along the way. And so we're all quite concerned about her today. She is in Alabama, and we're unable to bring her on to the podcast today because just too much is happening, and she doesn't have any funding for the car repairs she may need to make before she can make it out to Georgia. And she may be temporarily needing to stay somewhere until she can, it's going to be more food money, more lodging expenses, unless she is very, very good at finding help. And so our hearts and minds are with her today, and we are hoping that Yanggang who are close by. We've heard that you must be good friends with Tom Elkins out in Pensacola, right? If you're about to start the Trickle Up together. Kevin, are you familiar with Tom? Oh, I don't know if Kevin is frozen or if he can hear me.
Oh, we may have lost Kevin again.
Anyway, Tom Elkins.
Man.
But Tom Elkins had said that he was about 2 hours away from Faye right now, and so there's a sort of a line that can maybe go out to her. But we are looking for people who are in Georgia maybe to reach out so that she can get to Georgia and have a place to stay.
I messaged Faye. Okay.
We can hear you again, so please go ahead and speak, Kevin. Well, it looks like I'm not the only person with struggles with the internet today.
Yeah.
This is going to be tough. I can't hear Kevin again.
Having severe technical problems. Apologies to people watching the stream. Thanks for tuning in. Nice to see you.
Is anybody looking at you were saying?
All right, we see you again, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. I can see and hear you.
So you said that you messaged Faye.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay, you're back.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I what I was going to say is that I messaged Faye and told her that the name of her truck was rather ironic at the moment. For those of you who don't know her,
does she have a name for her truck?
Her truck is named Kismet. Right now, it's obviously her fate is poor.
Oh, well, I think Kismet is an excellent name for the truck because it it basically encapsulates how she is living her life right now. Her choice of
don't get the reference.
she's choosing to she's choosing to navigate the world. She's choosing to navigate the world with the help of her fellow humans, and she's chosen to trust in that. And so wherever she is, she believes that she can reach out, and people will help her. And I believe that is really what's going to happen today. I think once we get an update from her by next weekend, we're going to find out, just exactly how human beings come through for others. And that's what our hopes and wishes are for her. And that is also the reason that she's undertaken this journey. So that doesn't mean that there is no risk. And so we've asked her to, continue to be in touch with us.
That's an excellent way to put it.
Kismet.
Yeah, and so we hope that the people that we know are real people will, show up for her at this moment in time. What were you saying, Ariel?
What's Kismet in reference to?
What is Kismet?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know what Kismet is? Oh.
I don't either.
Okay, well, Kevin,
I heard of Kermit.
I am curious.
Kismet. I don't know what that. Yeah.
I think Kevin's frozen again.
Oh god.
Oh no.
But Faye, you can tell us what a Kismet is.
Well, I'm going to cheat and look it up on the internet. Okay. So Kismet to me has always meant
it's a Magic the Gathering card. That's all.
Well, Kismet means what I just said it meant.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean what it's meant to me is exactly what I was explaining, is that the universe comes through for you. And so you live your destiny in the hands of, you're not in control all the time. You think that you're in control, but actually you have to live in accordance to how the universe,
That's a good name for that card.
So, I mean, I tried to look it up on the internet. All it says is destiny or fate, but that's not how,
No.
To me, I guess I
it's
have
more like
a little bit of what's
like a
called
divine synergy.
Pronoia. Have you heard?
Yes, I know what pronoia is. The opposite of paranoia.
Well, have you heard
the feeling or belief that people are conspiring in your favor? Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. So, I mean, it may be a false understanding of how the universe works. The same as paranoia is considered, not quite accurate description of how
one behooves you more than the
works.
other.
But
True or otherwise.
But it works. One works in the sense that I think both can work for you, right? And paranoia is just going to cause you to become more and more cautious.
Yeah.
And you can protect yourself in that way.
That's true.
Whereas paranoia causes you to become more and more social and more willing to invite other people into your life.
Yeah.
And so that can also solve problems. So either one of them could work.
That's true.
But it may not be a necessarily accurate or truthful representation of how the world is, because each person chooses their path.
There is a lot of self-fulfilling prophecy in the world.
Yes, so maybe that's kind of we're hoping to fulfill prophecy for her.
Yeah.
But I think it's true that we would never really let, and that's the true. I think that the truth of it is that our podcast and everybody that knows Faye would we may wait around to see if somebody else has the ability first, but ultimately, I don't think we would allow her to fail in this endeavor.
Yeah, especially.
How do you guys feel?
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out somehow. We'll get her to Georgia.
Atlanta's
we're not going to just give up.
Yeah, Atlanta's just like 2.5 hours away from her. Actually, this is so funny, and I'm not lying to you guys when I say this. I actually had a dream like the day before yesterday that like Faye put up back in LA, like unhappy and like crying. She's like, I don't have enough. Like it doesn't make like I'm going to,
Sucks.
but. I decided to like stay with you, and then I was like, whoa, like what the hell happened? Like you were in Louisiana, came all the way back here. Like think you were
Oh.
supposed to be in like Atlanta and
Oh.
stuff like that. It was weird. And then I woke up from that dream. It was it was so funny. I'm like, holy shit. Now this was before what happened to her car. This was before, but it was such a weird dream. I'm like, oh my, okay, she's in Louisiana. I'm like, good, okay, she's headed there, and she's
I
gonna
think
get
she was already concerned.
right.
She was probably
Exactly.
already concerned at that point,
It
and
was
so that it was kind of spreading out to everybody who knows her.
it was a really funny dream. It was a really hilarious dream because it's like because I did see her in person like 2 times when she was coming back and forth to San Diego and LA. And then I woke up and I'm like, okay, it's good. Like she's over there, and then but then this happens and I'm like, oh my God, like maybe it's I don't know.
Well, and also sometimes you imagine that at the very bottom of the barrel and there just isn't anything left, and sometimes you just feel despondent for a moment, but then the sun
Right.
rises, and a new
Yeah.
person walks in, and all of a sudden everything looks differently. It's a little change of light in the world that can
Yeah.
just
It was the
flip
same.
everything.
Yeah, it was the same thing with like remember when I told you I went to that kibbutz in Israel and then I really, really started like losing my mind because like the fridge was banging on the door, like keeping me up at night. These people were kind of like hippies, and I was a guy who like I enjoyed my privacy and I enjoyed my comfort, and like kibbutz living is like the exact opposite of that. Like you get no privacy, you get comfort. But then when I was like I didn't know what to do, but then like I had family who lived up there, and they came and they took me from that situation, and it was like a month and a half, and I had a freaking blast. Like I had a freaking time in my life, like in their apartment, out of the kibbutz,
Yeah.
with like yeah, like and exploring like a new place.
That would not have happened. But
Yeah,
the thing is, that part wouldn't have happened if you hadn't gotten stuck at the kibbutz and then just said, "What the heck am I doing here?" Because
yeah,
you wouldn't have thought to ever just fly out there and go
Yeah.
be with your family for,
yeah,
Yeah.
thing it was like because like I was getting sick and tired of like university, and I kind of wanted like a gap year, and I'm like a really adventurous person, so I'm like, hey, what the heck. But before I did the kibbutz, like I did go hosteling once or twice, and like other places I did it. But kibbutz but a kibbutz is very different from a hostel. In a hostel you at least have your privacy, you at least have a locker, there's at least a common area. Like a farm, no, that doesn't exist there. It's like this room's like 2 beds, but like everyone's in like close quarters, and it's not as like it's even like less privacy than a hostel, even though you share bunk beds. It was kind of it's crazy. Everything is different. but I'm just
Do
saying
any
like
of you read Gothic fiction? Have any of you read American Gothic fiction?
I played Vampire
American
the
Gothic.
Masquerade.
I'm sorry.
I played Vampire the Masquerade, the role-playing game.
Oh,
I played it
okay.
in college, and I haven't since. And Kevin's
No,
left. I've embarrassed Kevin. He's left, and I understand.
you gotta get out of, like negativity.
It's fine.
Still,
It's self-depreciating.
he's probably
I'm
just
joking.
fixing his internet connection.
Yeah, probably. No, I mean, I just made a kind of a mostly jokey reference to a role-playing game, but it is like an American Gothic role-playing game.
I'm saying, like you got
Interesting. Well,
you got get okay. Go fail. Say. Yeah.
I was bringing it up because I feel like the American tradition emanates from places like Alabama and places like East Texas, and basically the Deep South is where she's at right now. And this literary tradition, is really interesting to me. It produced things like some of my favorite stuff from William Faulkner is something called As I Lay Dying. Have you heard of this story?
I have heard of it. I have not read it.
So I think the general plot line is basically that grandma or somebody has died. Somebody has died in the family, and they have to get her from one place to another, her body. And so it's they want, and it's a really interesting story of all of these struggles that this poor Southern family has to go through in order to get something very basic accomplished, and all the horrors that they have to live through together. And this just happens. I like life in the South is filled with these stories. Everyday people, living out these super tragic and very difficult moments, and somehow overcoming all of these amazing, crazy struggles that come, just from the heat, the
that like this keeps going Republican, because it's like you do realize that like Trump has like he just makes a phone call and he gets whatever the hell he wants. Like he's just like, yo,
Yeah.
I want this. I got like tons of money. Just like bring it to me like that.
We were
And,
talking about
like,
pronoia. I mean, that creates pronoia, right? You know?
right, yeah, exactly. Okay, but still, but it's like he lives such a pampered existence, and then you got like all these southern states that are like, yeah, he's our guy. Like he's never had to struggle a day in his life with anything even close to like what
I'd
most.
love to see Trump. I'd love to see him as a protagonist in one of these American Gothic stories where,
Right.
all he has to. Another story that reminds me of that is the Little Miss Sunshine. If you haven't read
Right.
anything, you could maybe have watched a movie called Little Miss
Me
Sunshine.
off. It's like when Republican senators talk about coastal elites, they're elites too. They're just in the middle of the country. That's the only difference. They have the money. It's like, okay, you're talking about like coastal elite. It's like, okay, like if we took all the money out of your bank account, put you in the middle of no and put them in a situation that Faye is in, I'd like to see them how they'd managed with like and none of their rich friends either. Let's take away all your contact lists of your rich friends and all the money in your account, drop you in the middle of some like random middle of nowhere state, which is happening to Faye. And how are you going to manage?
Yeah.
And like
I don't want to.
Yeah.
One thing I don't want to think about Alabama as a nowhere state. I hate to think of any of the state as being a nowhere place or a place not filled with good people.
A middle of nowhere place in a state. Like that's kind of like the thing. Just
it is a very small town she's stuck in,
right?
with not a lot of support. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's pretty scary.
But she does have
Yeah.
it's off of a freeway, right? At least it's off of a freeway. It's not like miles from a freeway, which some places in our country are even miles away from a freeway to even get from one place to another. So at least she's. So she's not at least in the boonies where she there's no people passing her. So she's able to put words on her car, and people are passing by and seeing her, and willing to step up and say, "Hey, do you need some help?" If you see SOS on the truck, this is going to call help to her. So there's a lot worse situations people have. But have you ever seen this Little Miss Sunshine?
I think so.
You've never seen that movie? They're none of you. So I'm just talking to myself.
Where they're all in a van and there's like a contest or something that she's trying to win.
So it's a typical, a very nice family. I think they start out in Florida or someplace, or maybe California. And anyway, they have to travel across to the other side of the country, right? So it's the Little Miss Sunshine contest. And their little girl wants to participate, and the grandfather's training her. So the family's just, letting them train and do their thing. And their entire goal is, okay, we just have to get there, right? So that she can do the contest. They don't care if she wins. She just want her to do it. And then some other surprising stuff just continues to happen throughout the entire. And it really, it reminds me of As Dying. It's like a remake,
Also, that movie.
So,
Melissa McCarthy. Remember the name, but like she like leaves with her grandma from her mom and like drives and stuff, and then the car also ends up breaking down, and
there are breakdowns.
They go
yes.
to Missouri or something like that, and like she like breaks a jet ski and her grandma has to pay for it, and like it's just like this wild stuff. I think like we're so not used to anything like this, because when we grow up we're always told like never talk to strangers, they're weird and they want money from you and they want to cheat you and lie to you, so stranger danger, and then we're just used to like a routine of like coming back from like either it's school to home or work to home, like that, and like we don't really like explore outside of that realm. Everyone's kind of like
that's the middle class life. The
right?
middle class life is all about the paranoia. You know, we don't want to might suddenly push us down into the poverty level, right? You got to stay above that level of water, and you don't want to do anything that's too risky. You know, so you may never make it into the upper echelons either, because you know you can't just start a business because you might lose it all. You can't just take
Right.
these you
So
know big
it's like
risks, and so you just kind of stay where you are and hold on to that. You know.
so it's like
Yeah.
a hamster wheel. It's just like constantly like thing, and that's the problem that I see is like people want to get out of this hamster wheel, you know, and it's so pathetic that like the easiest thing that we can do is like implement the system where basic needs can always be covered, and so people don't have to risk it all just to like see like do something new, not even do something new as in travel, but like do something new as in like business or like thing or take that. It's like but the
Well, why
inherent,
not travel?
yeah,
Travel's good too. Yeah,
yeah, travel
you've
good, yeah.
enjoyed a little bit.
I'm saying that like not I'm saying not just travel. I'm saying that it's good for traveling is great, but it's also good for like taking one or two risks that maybe like would put you in the poorhouse if you took them. I mean that's ridiculous. That is like so stupid that like we don't have like some people have to like risk their homes and their food and all that stuff just to like take an opportunity. I mean, it's just ridiculous. While inherited wealth people can just fail their way upward, and it doesn't matter. It's like it's
But the
pretty
interesting
crazy.
thing is there's also this sort of underlying sort of level of jealousy that's always happening.
Mhm.
So when Faye is doing well and able to continue on her travels, and all of the all of the things are moving smoothly, I think people find that she's living an envious life, right? Because
Right.
she's not working that 9 to 5 job that other people are stuck in. She's able to still achieve her goals without being trapped, and people feel very almost envious of it. They wish they could have that, but she's taking the risk that at any moment there could be a setback, there could be a failure of some kind, and she's willing to put herself out there. So I to be very brave, and
Yes, so do I.
I feel like you know also self-made, just as just entrepreneur or anybody else who is she's living off of her karma and her kismet. So pretty interesting.
Yeah, 100%.
So Kevin, sorry Ariel, did you have something else you wanted to follow up?
I just say like agreed, and that's the thing, and the thing is, she's not saying that only I should be able to live this life and other people don't deserve it. I mean, a UBI would allow so much access for so much more people to like explore who they are and their creative side and their like freedom side, and that's so great. So it's not like she's saying I just deserve to be living this life and other people like they don't have it or they should be barred. It's like if other people want to kind of live that life too, like a UBI would make that so much more feasible and so much more easier to do. I just want to put that in there. That's it.
Well, I think you brought up a good point, that she doesn't judge other people for their choices, but because she is the unconventional one, not the traditional. The traditionalists tend to be kind of judgy, and they say, well, you could have
Yeah.
my life if you would just do everything I do, if you got trapped in the 9 to 5, and if you did all the things, that's responsible and that's the good life. But I don't think we need to pass judgment on that here. We can decide that each person has the right to make their way in the world in the way that they wish, and if it's through the help of people who are willing. It's not like she's stealing. She doesn't steal. She doesn't coerce anybody else anything they don't want to do. She's a really wonderful person, and we support her.
Yeah, 100%.
So, Kevin, you said you had maybe reached out to HFM board members. Are there any things that are happening right now that you'd like our listeners to know about? Should people try to find a group in their state like we did during the yanggang and try to gang up together still?
I think we may have lost Kevin again.
I'm not sure. The lag is extreme.
Yeah, the lag is extreme. This has been a technically challenged episode.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should call it soon, and
I'm afraid we
just
might
say
have
we've
to.
done a good job.
Okay, Kevin is
for
back
now.
for the moment, though. So hello, Kevin. Welcome back.
Yeah.
No false alarm.
What part? I would love to find out what area of Michigan Kevin is from. If he's from a rural area like me, where the internet is always wonky, like it just doesn't work out for us.
Yeah. So I guess just as prominent up in the northern states, southern states. This thing.
Unfortunately, it's really the rural, and the internet is just the latest in a long string of that, people in the rural areas just can't get access to. We've been dealing with water issues in our town. Do you have water issues where you guys live in the bigger cities? You still have water quality issues, or?
Oh, here in like LA, it's still utility be working just fine. I mean, that's the thing. But I guess like that's why like a UBI would be so great, because big corporations and companies and all that stuff are always targeting people where the money is, and it tends to be in the cities and not in the rural areas with all the like conglomerates and stuff. So I think that like that's why people are being ignored, and it doesn't even matter how like your work ethic or your skill level or how you're willing to all that. It's because like the thing that I hate is that there are a lot of people out there who want people to internalize all the bad stuff that's happening to them by saying like, oh, you didn't work hard enough, or you didn't like heighten your skill set, or you didn't get enough education, when it's really like just the geographical area. If companies aren't interested in that geographical area, you can be the smartest, most hardworking, and like not have an opportunity that fits you. And if companies are interested in a certain geographical area, even if like let's say you're a high school dropout, but with the right networks and the right people like by your side, you can get a huge opportunity that someone in another kind of geographical area doesn't doesn't have access to. So all the people out there that are making others internalize their own lack, I think that's like I wouldn't want them as my friends. Let me just
Well, it's in the rural areas, like when you're have things based like water, because our town never invested a backup generator. And so when the power went out during one of the big winds last year, they just didn't have any ability to process the water and keep it clean and safe for us. And so they were just pumping bad water into the system. So we can't do that. So we'll just turn it off. Then people will know not to drink it, because they didn't have a system in place to let every single person know. I mean, it's like you should expect to have power failures. That's something that's going to happen, right?
right.
So they just didn't even let people know, because they didn't have any ways to do it. They might have put a notice in the paper, how many people get the paper, and then they might have put, and then they let people like have to come to the website or go to a go to a social media thing and find out. It's like, who's doing that?
Yeah, who goes to
All
your
the older
town's
people in
Facebook
town
page? Yeah,
know.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, but maybe if you turn the water on and the bad colored water was coming out, you're like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't drink that for a minute. And then later, then they were like, well, we can't have it turned off either, because if we keep it turned off, right, then the fire department can't use, there won't be water pressure in the lines in order to fight fires. So they said, we got to turn the water back on, but the thing wasn't ready. They didn't have the treatment plant going yet. And they had to wash that out and clean everything, right? And so in the meantime, just bad water is in the system. And we had a boil water notice that nobody knew about. So like, and this just went on and on like all summer, right? Really bad like situations like that. And I feel like the bigger cities don't have these issues, because they would have you know, they would understand that you need to have all these things, you know, ahead of time, ready to go for a big city where you have enough resources.
Living in this,
It's just, you know, here it's
like we're 21st century like world, and like I'm sure that there are like rural areas in Scandinavia too, but like I want to know if they have these issues. Let's say like there's a village in Europe or something like that. Are they more modernized and advanced than like rural areas in Texas or Mississippi? Like that's what I really want to know, because if they are, I mean that's going to say a lot to like how far behind we are. And like we're so proud of our military and our ability to like give international aid, and like and then I hear something like going on in these small American towns, and I'm like, what
Yeah.
the hell? What the hell? Like,
these little situations, they're replicated over and over in every small town all across our country. And
You know,
it's just
the
like,
yeah,
the organization
people just
Doctors
think
Without
it's normal.
Borders.
It's just normal now. You know, it's
we've just
people don't know that there's
Yeah.
another way to live.
But have you guys noticed one thing that we don't hear about any like mass shootings during these like pandemic times?
That's true.
Like that's like remember before the pandemic happened, we hear about a mass shooting like
We
almost
did. That's true.
every 2 weeks. There
We
was like
hadn't
some
heard
kind
about it.
of got coronavirus.
Is it still happening?
It's all like thing.
I don't know.
I just like one or two for this
Yeah.
whole like 9 months, and it was
Yeah, I haven't
like
heard about one.
but like yeah. I wonder if it, but maybe like if it's happening but it's not being paid attention to because of the virus. We don't know, because I mean in the news, if it bleeds it leads.
Mhm.
So maybe like the news of the coronavirus is just so bad that maybe the shootings are going on but they're just not being reported on. I mean, knowing the media that I know right now, I'm just like I'm disgusted at the way like, you know, mainstream news works, all of them. But I don't know what you
They're still reporting police shootings, I think, though.
they're still reporting what?
They're still reporting police shootings, however.
Right.
There's still people being shot by the police, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
I think in our time, a lot of interesting happened. Like at the beginning of the coronavirus time, there was a lot less activity for a minute and less travel, and so I think the car accidents were down quite a lot.
yeah.
And I wonder how many lives
But-
that were saved from that.
But it's
But
fascinating that like I got out of my house at 4 o'clock, headed to the valley on one day for like a car fix. And I'm like, what the hell? Like California just implemented like new lockdowns and new shutdowns, and yet the traffic was horrendous. It was like bumper to bumper, moving like 1 minute every like moving like 1 mile per uh 1 minute or something like that. No, whatever. Moving really slow, like a snail's pace, A usual 15-minute drive
4
on
a.m.
the
in the morning.
taking me. No, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. So it was like kind of rush hour.
Oh,
But
4 p.m.
right. But then I'm like, why the hell is it like we're in all this lockdown? What the hell are these people doing on the road? Like tons and tons of people still going on. Yeah, it was
I
confusing.
think it's the activity is ramped up so much that it's pretty much normal again, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess
it's
that.
it's sadly like that's why we're at the worst time of the coronavirus. You know, so far it's really terrible right now, but people are taking less precautions than they used to because they've just gotten so tired of it. Even people who used to be really careful.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like crazy stuff. And
So, Kevin, are you able to hear us?
Yeah, I decided to move to a different room. It wasn't
Okay, yeah.
well, so
Working better now? Very good.
I'm glad you're back. Good.
We were asking if you had.
it's the hope.
Do you have any particular activities that you would like Yang Gang to be participating in this coming month?
Yeah, I know that like you mentioned earlier that I had that I had reached out to the rest of the interim board, and they wanted me to let you know that Humanity Forward Georgia is having letter writing parties uh, on Mondays at 5:30 Eastern.
Oh, okay. So that sounds like a really interesting one because I could do that quietly without offending my son. My 7-year-old hates it when I'm on the phone, which is why I can't phone bank. And if I'm staring at my phone texting, he's like, "Why are you staring at your phone, Mom?" Like he just goes crazy and like gets all rowdy and angry, and I don't want the people on the phone who are strangers to be hearing me yelling at my son, "Be quiet," so so this whole, phone banking just doesn't work for me, but writing letters is very easy for me, and I really enjoy doing that. So, of course, always the actual doing of it is difficult. But is it something where you write everything by hand, or can you write it on the computer and mail and send, or how does that work?
I don't know how this specific campaign would work, but typically you would write it on the computer and send it.
Yeah, there's something is still very compelling about a handwritten with somebody's handwriting. I just feel like I've done the cards before and I've done some letters and I felt very good about it for myself. It just feels like, time well spent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever received a handwritten note from somebody before? I've never gotten one in the mail, but I always look forward to it. Like,
get like
somebody's going to write
like
me.
a card sometimes, like a handwritten greeting card from like a relative from birthday or anything.
Or even a political one, about a candidate that somebody supports. Have you ever received one? So I think that, I think it would feel very special to me if I got one in the
Yeah.
mail, whoever it was. I would be like, wow, somebody actually wrote this in a time when we just mass deliver everything.
Like the human element
So,
these days.
how hard is it to get a humanity forward or humanity first movement type group going? Right now, because Andrew Yang has suspended and we don't know where he's going, if he's going to have a position at all in this new government, or if he's going to be just doing his CNN or political activism. We don't know where Andrew is going. How easy is it right now to put together a group and, try to hold it together now?
In terms of like state chapters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's been kind of hard, but because I think people are burnt out. But right now we're trying this where we are hosting, somebody in a state is hosting
We don't want to.
like a show to catch up.
I think we lost a little bit of what you said. So you were saying that it's kind of challenging right now. People are pretty worn out by this political season. It's been so much craziness. Ariel, have you been meeting with
With who?
We're trying them
Have you
out
been meeting
where
up with Yanggang in California?
Oh wait.
no,
Well, yeah. Hardly much has been going on. Yeah, that I can really think of, but like when the David Kim campaign was going on here in California, like it was bustling with some Yang activity, but once he stopped campaigning, then like I really haven't seen much. Yeah.
mhm.
We have
Maybe
Kevin
that's
back.
fine. I mean, you do need rest. You know, you need
Right.
rest periods between periods of frenetic activity like we've been in.
Right.
But what does organizing look like in time of rest? You know, it's like, what do we do?
That's a fair point.
Yeah, but I think it's just because like maybe like Biden won and everybody's kind of like, yay, we don't have Trump anymore. But I think that like 1 or 2 months into like a Biden presidency, people are going to be like, yeah, this isn't
Well, they're gonna be on the street, dying. We're gonna be dying in poverty.
something like that.
Yeah, under Biden
Well,
in a
I know
couple
that
months.
Yanggang is not.
Stick with us.
I don't think Yanggang has stopped in terms of trying. We're working hard on that right now. So the question is, how do we find each other when we don't have, you know, the Andrew Yang, you know, say we're all going to get
Yeah.
a watch party to watch Andrew do something. You know, what is it that unites us, or how do we get together now? That I guess the letter writing party, and sometimes we do our socials.
Fire.
Shale, how is our social streams going? I'd love to rejoin you at some point, but
Oh,
sometimes it's just hard for me to do more than one event a day.
They've gotten to be mostly me and Sheridan playing Quake, so we should probably make an effort. I should do like, you know, another Among Us night or something.
I was praising you because you managed to get like 65 people on at one time. I
Wait,
don't know
what
if you
happened? When did I get 65 people?
got 65. Joshua told me you got 65 people on the social stream and he was happy for you.
Did I?
I don't. Yeah,
That's
maybe.
cool.
I don't.
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I had no idea that they were there.
Weren't looking.
Hi guys, I just thought I'd.
Hey, all right.
Hello.
Glad, good to hear from you. We were talking about you. You know,
Yeah.
your predicament.
We just spoke of you.
I feel like the whole
Could you
U.S. is talking about
feel
me.
us talking about you?
Well, I mean, I noticed the time, and I feel like the whole U.S. is talking about me right now. The whole Yang Gang is trying to pull through and help me out, and it's like, how many people does it take to fix one truck? You know, and that's just mind-boggling. I can't. I hate being broke, guys. And I'm trying not to have more panic attacks, if I'm really going to be honest. And it's not working very well. There's a guy who's a local who contacted 2 of his friends. And he says one's supposed to be out, but that was like, he's like, oh, I can't imagine more than 15, 20 minutes. And it's been like, it feels like an hour already. So I'm a little concerned. But the gals at the store. I'm at a pit stop right now, like a convenience store. So there's that.
I was saying that you are living the. you've entered the American Gothic literary genre down there in Alabama, and I think time actually moves differently. You know where you are.
That's possible. I mean, I don't know. It's been a very interesting 24 hours. I feel like giant death of egos happened a few times. Yeah, I could be better. But I feel like people are really rallying behind me. So, like, that just makes me want to cry too, because I'm like, guys.
Well, one of the things we were saying is that, you know, sometimes it's slow in coming because everybody's kind of looking around and saying, well, I'm not doing that great. So maybe somebody else will help her first who is doing better than me, you know, or whatever. But ultimately, you must understand that we would never let you fail. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Deep inside your heart that we would never, ever let you fail.
Yeah. Well,
it made us feel a little slow because everybody's like trying to line up and say, the, slightly more ability to help, we're going to wait for that person to go. If that person doesn't come through, somebody else is coming through.
Yeah, I think they call it the bystander effect, technically.
Yes. Yes. It's like everybody's like, okay, who's going to do it? But somebody will. Somebody is going to come through. We're going to make sure that you get there.
Yeah, I've received a few $100s now at this point. But like, yeah, it's Sunday, so even the mechanic shops are closed, right? So, and then like this is where I'm sleeping anyway, so that's frustrating. But like, I could technically, if I could hitchhike about 10 miles down the road, fucking 10. No, well, technically, I think it's 11. There's a hotel, and I have enough for it now, so I could do that. But
did you call an Uber or something?
In the middle of nowhere,
I don't know, man. I don't know how that works. I don't have a phone. I don't have a phone. See, we all deal with the extreme crushing poverty differently. I don't have a phone. I don't know how that works. Just stay here where it's.
Yeah, well,
see, a lot of things really work differently, right? Like in the small town, you don't have that. We'll just call an Uber and that'll fix it. You can't do some of the things that come to mind when you're in this big city. Like when we talk about the food stamps not working, right? They just it's not that Amazon is now taking food stamps for delivery in Texas and other places.
Are you guys live?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we are. We're live.
Good,
yeah,
good.
We're live.
I thought you were. I just wanted to double check because this is.
We're not on Twitch, but we are on YouTube.
Okay.
And Craig is on too.
But like, even if Amazon Fresh was delivering to people and using SNAP money for deliveries, right? They don't even have a food distribution center in the rural area. There is no Amazon Fresh anywhere in the rural area. So there is no, like grocery delivery except by maybe Walmart. So you got to wait for certain chains to come through for you,
Yeah.
So like where you are right now, Faye, some people saying they're going to call a buddy. They're going to come and check out the vehicle. They're people who know how to fix cars. That's who they're calling.
Yeah. So I wrote SOS on my truck.
So do you want to show us the sludge? Yeah, you want to show us the sludge that you found in your coolant tank?
That orange stuff, yeah.
So I did a quick search online, and they said that it's very likely to be a broken head gasket, and that it's that if you fill that tank up with coolant, right, you could probably get the car moved to a local, somebody who could fix it.
Yeah. Well, someone actually offered to get me a tow truck. I just had nowhere to take it, and I feel like I'd get more help if I stayed here. So this is what I did. It's kind of a mess inside my truck now because I had just throwing a bunch of stuff around. Oh my God.
I know that you have a fear of auto mechanics, but I think this is the type of person you need right now.
Yes. I have to face this.
Who is being called for you by the guys?
Say what?
You said there's some local guys who have called a couple of buddies for you. Who are they? Are they mechanic type people who are coming to you?
They said that they were sorry, Kevin, to take away the spotlight. I won't be here the whole time, I promise you. But
it's okay. You're important too.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, the guy, all I know is his name's Mike, and he has two friends that he called, and he said one is gonna come, but they're busy, and I don't know, they said 15-20 minutes. I didn't even get the friend's name. So but it sounds like they're mechanics. So
okay. And that actually, okay, based on living in a small town for the last couple of years, that actually is how things are done. Is a friend is called who knows how to fix cars, and they will fix the car in place where it is. They don't have a shop, right? They just bring their tools, and they'll take a look at what needs doing, and they'll go down to run down to the auto shop, not the auto shop, but the auto parts shop, and they'll just grab whatever is available. If something is not available, you may have to wait until tomorrow. But I think The thing is about living in a small town is everybody knows how to do a lot of things. Unlike in the big city. Like in the big city, you could expect maybe the vast majority of people don't know how to fix their own car because they will hire someone to do it. They'll just pay somebody. But in a small town, many people had to vehicles and consider it part of their, pride and joy in being able to do these things. So
yeah.
anyway, we
my
would
fingers are crossed for that scenario, right? Like, and I think it's happening, and I've had a decent amount of people come up to my window, asking if I needed help. Like one guy, he's like, well, I gotta unload my truck. He had a semi truck, right? He needed to unload the trailer. And then he's like, well, be back by in a couple hours. I was like, I ain't going nowhere, right? Like, and then like, I mean, if that's what it takes, but he just wanted to put water in it. And again, I know it's not like water can move me, but water's not going to fix the problem. This is my home. It has to be fixed, right? Like I have to fix this.
Well, I've heard that water is used to flush out.
Yes. Well, I think the guy.
And so the question would be whether or not you have a leak or something else that's mixing in with it because of something that's broken. But hopefully you're able to. But when you do flush it out, you should be able to at least get to a real mechanic with a shop if that's what you choose to do.
Yeah.
If the person that arrives on the scene is not, expert enough or needs more equipment than he's able to muster, then you will have to maybe look into just taking it to a shop.
But see, I think I can get it to a shop even just by having a tow truck, right? Like somebody already offered to pay me for a tow truck. So like, I'm like, everybody is like really trying to help me out right now. It's kind of just like, it's very heartwarming and makes me want to cry just thinking about it. So, but dude, I had like one of the worst panic attacks I've had in my life yesterday. Like it was bad. And I hadn't had much sleep, right? So that only added to it. And then I was legit broke, like, dude, because my GoFundMe money hadn't gone through, and that's what I was like banking on just for gas to get to fucking Georgia. And then like, I'm down to zero because a couple people sent me some bucks, right? And I was like, fuck, I don't even know what to do. And then like literally every problem, and then I twisted my ankle skipping, and so it hurts to walk, and it's so stupid. like don't skip, guys. It's painful if you do it wrong.
Oh,
it's so stupid that I hurt my ankle, and I thought it would be better by today, but no, it's not. I keep stepping on it wrong, I guess.
Are you a fan of the Southern? Are you a fan of Southern Gothic stories? Are you a fan of Southern Gothic type stories?
I don't even know what that looks like or sounds like.
Okay, I'm gonna have to introduce you to some of this stuff, but I feel like you are living the archetypal,
It's
poverty in the South
like,
life.
Have you ever heard a Tom Waits song?
It's just.
If you ever heard a Tom Waits song, that's Southern Gothic.
I've heard of them. Many.
Yeah, Tom Waits songs. Every Tom Waits song is a Southern Gothic story.
Someone in Flannery. Yeah, I mean, there's some really amazing writing, and it's very. It's like you almost can't be in Alabama and Georgia and Mississippi and not be, like touched by it. So we're gonna have to send you some stuff to read, and maybe it will.
If I was to look at my life on the hero's journey template, I'm definitely at the point of, what is it called? The innermost cave, right? And
the innermost cave. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Like literally, I've been following it. I already went through the immense stage. Now I'm in the innermost cave, and like literally the next part is like, quote, magic powers or special something, or I don't know, depends on which version you're looking at, right? But like something magical is supposed to happen, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm crying here on the side of the road, and like I'm seeing the magic happen by everyone rallying.
It's where you hit the tipping point and you are no longer too small to succeed, and you are instead immediately too big to fail.
Yes,
that's America. Everyone is one of those. That's it.
So So some really amazing books by in that genre. It's by Flannery O'Connor, for example, is an excellent writer, and would love to introduce you to some of this stuff while you're in the area from which all of
deal with it. Submerge
See,
yourself.
no, it's just like no, so you don't feel like this is something that only happens to you. This is what happens to everyone who travels through Alabama.
Yeah.
There's some mystical power that just drains everybody's life soul. And then,
Yes.
Well, if you do intend to like make a deal with the devil,
and
Alabama might be the sort of area where you
in order to
could, if you want to
I was
like
heading to Georgia. The devil
gamble
was
on
the
some
way
kind
to
of a
Georgia,
music
right?
contest with the devil for a fiddle or something along those lines, or you want to play chess with the Grim Reaper. Alabama.
That
Well,
was Georgia.
I'm gonna get off here. I have to use the restroom. So
Okay.
But
Okay.
bye guys.
Don't play chess with the Grim Reaper. Goodbye.
Okay, I won't.
Okay,
Thank you so much for dropping in.
Yeah, I thought it was important.
Thank
Fairly
you.
well.
Yeah, I'm glad you came.
Yeah.
Man, I hope I didn't scare her. I don't think.
With vampires, vampires and devils are showing up. No, but it really is like traveling after my ex-husband's grandfather had passed. I went to the funeral out in Ohio, and then I decided to drive back by myself because he was flying back somewhere else to work. So I drove back along the the freeways through West Virginia back to Virginia, towards the DC area where I live. And in West Virginia, I thought I would go visit the beautiful mountains there, right? Shenandoah National Park, all of this beauty that's out there. But that was the first time I actually, at the time, I sort of thought to myself that this is the first time I really met like people who really scare me. Like, I felt like I was suddenly in the, like zombie lands where people like might disappear because it's so like sparsely populated. You're in the with no. I got stopped in a little town called Wardensville, in my tiny little Toyota car, with a license plate from Virginia. They've given me it's a speed trap town, obviously, Wardensville, and they were giving me a ticket for speeding that they knew that I would have to pay because I couldn't stay to fight it. And it was like like when I was driving through, I stopped first time, like I bought sandwiches in a restaurant for $2, which I hadn't seen $2 sandwiches anywhere for already a really long time.
Yeah, right.
And I was surprised because it was like Wonder Bread sandwich
Oh wow.
encounter,
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what passes for a restaurant,
Yeah, that's very telling. They're
I
not
felt
using
like I'm
bulk.
the only Asian person. Well, I was the only Asian person in, so I felt,
Mhm.
and I actually felt kind of afraid.
Yeah.
But then, I feel like now I can look back and say, oh, that is the poverty that I encountered face to face, because these are areas where people cannot afford, more than a $2 sandwich when they go to a restaurant, and they feel that $2 is a good amount to charge.
Yeah.
So that's what was really, happening to me, but I didn't know it the speed trap town is there to get money. They don't have any money. This is an impoverished area that I was afraid of. So, and I feel like whenever you
you pulled away from the mic there.
Every time you travel through an area in the South where, things are pretty different, and Faye isn't from the South, she's from the Pacific Northwest. So she has different expectations of what, a city looks like, or a small town, or any of that stuff. And so it's going to be culturally shocking and very difficult. And so it's probably contributing to her sort of her panic.
Yeah.
It's not that the people are friendly.
I mean,
everything feels scary.
We are really sort of indoctrinated into a culture where we're sort of taught to fear other people, especially poor people who are different from us subconsciously, by
Yeah.
MSNBC and Fox alike in their different ways and many different aspects of culture divide us along those lines. You know, if you're like one kind of poor person, other kind of poor people are all out to get you. A lot of that thematic subtext runs through American culture, unfortunately. Anyway,
so
not
I
to,
hope.
not to kill the vibe.
So anyway, I still believe that. I still believe that good things are going to happen. We'll
yeah, I think Faye's she's gonna pull this one out. I mean, obviously she's having a very difficult time, but she's going to probably survive. I hope she finds someplace safe to sleep tonight. That's kind of my big concern for her at the moment. Just being physically protected from the elements and any potential predators, human or otherwise. So, as long as she can find a protected place to sleep tonight, she'll probably get out of there on Monday. But it should never be this close. No one should have to cut it that close. And in the richest country in the world, for people to just logistically not have the money to survive sometimes is unacceptable. So that's that.
Well, this would certainly have never happened to her if she had the UBI.
Yep.
Because she had made plans. It's not that she necessarily misplanned. She had made plans. She had some money in her GoFundMe that was just she was unable to get it out for some reason because of transfer problems. Or
I think Venmo put a block on her account or
So-
something. And she's kind of unbanked. If that's her only bank and the bank has a logistical hold on you, you can't do anything. Sucks.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, do you guys want to
Well,
go stream now that we've got?
account.
You want to what?
Yeah. I was
Do you
just
guys want to go ahead
thinking
and? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Ariel.
there's an income movement thing that happens on every Tuesday, and there are a lot of people there. So I don't know if you guys are a part of it, but we need to really signal boost what's happening to Faye, because like this is the kind of crap, and it's not like Faye is like mentally, or well, I mean, even if she was, maybe she like get more sympathy. It's not like she can't take care of herself. It's just that you need a certain level of resources to even like take care of yourself. And I mean, like, if she was in Georgia, like with the Yang Gang and all that stuff, if Georgia was a state like before Alabama was, and let's say like Georgia and Alabama were like switched, and it's just a question of like there were just too many miles in the way of like thing. Like if she lived in a country like Israel or like France, that's not as big as the US, it's like you can get to places much easier. Like if she lived in a country with like a monorail system, or like a really cheap flight, you know something like that, or if distances just weren't as large. So it's all the luck of the draw too, and it's not like
Yeah, we
there's so
come
much
back to Kismet.
like our country is so big, you know what I mean? And yeah, so it was just a thing of luck, and everybody prescribing poverty to like merit, and it was the decisions that you made. No, if the distance wasn't as long, she'd be and she was in Atlanta and her car broke down in Atlanta, it would be a totally different story, because there would have been this whole support network there, right? And it wouldn't be like blaming it on the person for like, oh, it's your fault that like, it's, like that kind of bullshit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the reason that Faye can
Oh, you cut out again.
feel, there are a lot of moments when people feel down or have a sudden rise of the panic. But I think because she has so many friends and she has so many good social connections, and she believes in the Yang, these are the reasons why she's able to try to make this choice and live her, authentic life through these means. If you did not have that trust, panic would just be the first step. Then the second step would, be, quick, go back to where you started from, like you were saying, Ariel, go back to where you were safe, back home to your family, or back, and then you would never accomplish what she's going to be able to accomplish by pushing forward. So.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. 100%. So and I mean like look like I think like in 2-3 years from now or 5 or whatever, we're like this can go up in history books and be like look at how like stupid we were as a society when we didn't have UBI. Like look at how much like unnecessary stress and pain and anxiety and stuff we put people through that didn't have to be there. That just didn't have to. It's like
how barbaric is our society
Absolutely,
right
that's
now?
the word we'll use.
I mean, we look back.
We
at,
are
like,
the barbarians.
Yes.
we are the barbarians. Exactly.
We'll
We
look back on it like
like
any of the
when-
other atrocities we've committed in the past.
when I looked at like medieval Europe, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, look at all these crusades. Look at these like assholes like going into like places and like raping and pillaging and murdering, and then I'm like, wow! Like human history has been like this ugliness, like this hate and this war and this death and this bloodshed. And then like we get into the area where we have like computers and phones and all that stuff, and then we're like, well, like most of that, like, we're more civilized with like our apartments and our cars and our modern technologies and stuff like that. But no, I think like 100 years from now, they're gonna look back on this stuff just like how they look back on medieval Europe. Like, oh wow, look at how sick these people were to let people like suffer in like unnecessary pain like this, when all it took was just like and money was just like a mental construct. I mean, like look at what these people. I swear, like we're gonna look back. This is like the
You don't
American
have to look back to medieval times or another country to look at human atrocities that we now go, oh wow, we were different then. Not too long ago, we did Native American genocide and slavery. So
right,
and other things.
Yeah.
That's America. That's us.
Right. So that's the thing, and we have the gall to say like we're this advanced, rich, technological, blah 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 blah. Blah. No, I mean like give it a break, like give it a rest. I looked at the one thing and it said Jeff Bezos was like providing homeless shelters for Amazon employees. I'm like, he's the boss. Like he's oh my god. I mean yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just like yeah. So hopefully I'm thinking like if like like generations down the road, they should have stuff. Everyone we let down in our society just because of like this kind of like impoverishment, and if they just had some kind of logistics problem that led them to like not living the life that they could have led, that should go in like a history book as like this is not what we do as humanity. Like this is yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Hard thing to prove.
Kevin, are you saying something?
Yes.
I feel like I can see you trying to
just
speak
thing.
to us.
Kevin, are you with us?
Yeah. I was just Ariel had some feedback, so I commented on that. Some audio feedback that I was hearing. So
What do you say?
but I think it's fine now.
Good. I didn't hear any feedback.
It might be my microphone. I'm going to try to keep it muted. So I was.
You got to get closer to your microphone and make sure it's not muted.
Yeah, we seem to be having so many issues. Maybe call our stream.
Yeah, maybe we could. We do have these terrible technical problems. We've had some really good moments, but man, we've got to figure this stuff because I don't know. Maybe it's just par for the course and it never goes away. Sometimes it's great, Sometimes there are no technical problems. Other times there are.
There's been a lot of extra issues.
Yeah.
Just recently because we've done how many episodes now? 140, not that many.
100. This is our 144th.
Most recent episode. 144 episodes. Yep. That's 12 to the second power. I'm just amazed by the fact that we've done so many episodes, and many of them have been okay.
Yeah.
Using the exact
so much can go wrong.
That
it's hard to
now.
use trial and error to figure out what might,
Something.
Wait, I didn't hear what
the weather. The internet weather is not good.
Yeah,
the internet weather.
I didn't hear what it said. Yeah, I just lost my Wi-Fi. I'm on LTE. I didn't hear what Kevin said. You said I had some feedback and it cut out for me.
You had some audio feedback, not like some subs. Not like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
No, we decided that we would try to call the stream now and maybe give our closing. So where can people find to join Humanity First Movement or the Michigan? Kevin, how would you like people to find you on the social media?
Like social media wise, or is that what you're asking?
Yeah, or a website and people can sign up to join your chapter, or to to join the Michigan chapter, or maybe Humanity First Movement.
Okay. Yeah, we don't currently have a Michigan chapter website, but I can't. Okay. People can go to hfmovement.org, I believe, to sign up. And there's on Twitter, it's at hfmovement. For myself, my Twitter handle is at trickleupkevin. I'm trying to think of any other social media plug. Let's see. I think that's all I can think of at the moment. So
that's plenty. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've added that to the credits for the show today. And thank you very much for coming on the show. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. Sometimes the problem is we are a group that wants to do a different sort of podcast from everyone else. We're not doing a one-on-one style like Paget does, or some of the other, most of the other interview type style politicals. We like to have a roundtable, people sitting together. Everyone gets a chance to not only meet new people, but have conversations stimulated by, the presence of somebody new. And we like to make connections. And we also like to get people who don't have onto the show. So people who are living in poverty, people who don't have great internet, people who don't have sometimes even the right equipment. We had someone join us on our show in the past who, consistently couldn't get a laptop to work, or did not have a good smartphone to work. But we bring them on as best as we can, and we put our voices out there, and we hope that it can be heard. So thank you very much, listeners, for putting up with us, and also for joining us. I see Faye is here with us for a minute.
Are you guys rapping?
Do you want to?
We're rapping.
We're wrapping up. Would you like to tell us about how other people can continue to contribute and help you to get to Georgia on your quest to Georgia?
I mean, sure. You guys are rapping early.
Yeah, because we had so many technical problems, so we just decided to end just a few minutes early, really.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I guess, yeah, if you want to donate to saving my track, my Venmo is Art by Doney, ARTBYDONEY. My PayPal is Pulling Adoni, PULLINGADONEY, and my Cash App is $Faydoney, FAYEDONEY. I have, I'm still waiting on a mechanic to show up, so yeah, I don't know what's happening. That's where I'm at with that. Thank you, Kevin, for coming on the show. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I wasn't here.
It's okay.
You're the last person to apologize.
But you are here.
And you are here.
That is true.
And you are here. You showed up. And this is something that I know Faye does. Faye shows up. When she says she's going to do something, it may not be instantaneous. It may not be tomorrow, this right second, but she does what she intends. And her intentions and motivations are going to get her to Georgia.
The main thing is actually getting, the time and energy to do things, right? So sometimes it takes a lot more energy to manifest anything I'm trying for, right?
Yes.
So in the credit, I put my user handles for Tisdoney.
Okay, and you should also put in the credit, some of your whichever favorite, Cash App or Venmo or whatever it is that will help you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do that.
My name is Faye Koo. Yep, my name is Faye Koo. That's Faye. Last name is spelled Ku. I have 3 children: Sage Cook, Isaac Cook, and Zephyr Koo. And I just like to hear their names because I don't get to see my 2 older children very often. And I always wish, somewhere in the back of my mind, that they will hear me when I'm in a public space.
Aww.
So I miss them a lot right now in the holiday season.
Aww.
And I think about them sometimes when I hear about Faye, and I don't know if they're doing okay. I assume they are, because they should be living in the lap of luxury. Their father is doing well, so hopefully. I don't know what's happening with them. So anyway, you can find me on Facebook as myself, and feel free to reach out to talk to us. Okay. Ariel?
Yeah, sure. So you can find me. I am at Ariels on Twitter, and just my name, Ariel Bakshande, on Facebook. And yeah, look up YouTube, Revolutionary Thinking. I put stuff up there from time to time. And yeah, have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you for that, Faye. Ariel.
Yeah.
And Shale, do you want to go ahead and close us?
My name is Shale. My Twitter is Shale Riley, which is also my name. It's SHAELRILEY. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back. We'll be back soon.
Bye.